of the names.
Yeah.
I think that will help a lot.
Just change it to Leo Mord and,
Yeah.
you know, Valentina. Oh, we can't do that.
There is an option to remove the game.
Is there?
The name, right?
Is there?
No,
I don't know.
No, there isn't? No.
We're thinking of a different game here. All right, fighting for this Lord already. Black Dragon form going to be used even at JP at half health. He can pop the Revitalize if he needs it, but I don't know if they're going to go for the Void. Oh! So close from Severo on the SOD. But Lord still secured by Team Liquid. Now going for the fight as Brusco falls. They're still looking for more. Now Kirk, he's punching his way to take out Sanford. So at least a 1-for-1 trade, but Kirk could be in trouble now. He's got some shields to work with, but it's not enough. As he'll fall, Severo left on the other side of the map to just push in a Phantom Steed. They're going for more. They're going to go for King Kong, but not before he takes one with him. It's Carl Teasy to clean up the fight.
Teddy.
Oh, Super Prince.
He's in trouble.
He's in between two turrets. He should be safe. The Lord was dealt with by Severo.
Okay.
Oh, Super Prince. Oh!
Oh, not safe. Not safe at all.
Yeah, I was about to say good counterplay from Onyx at least, even though TFPH found something.
Severo shows up. He's able to get Teddy, but no! He's still working because Severo turns us around! He shuts down the GOAT Carl Teasy!
What a counterplay from Severo! The pressure lives up to his name. I was gonna say earlier, TFPH overextended a bit. Sanford died, but Sanji and Kartizi played well to cover for each other, got more kills, but even though they were getting kills, they were being punished by King Kong. And then Severo was able to clean up the Lord. And then after that, TFPH tried to look for more kills, and then the Moskov appeared. We've said this so many times in the regular season, you do not get to overpressure against Severo because he can punish.
Yeah, he is the pressure. He just knows how to deal with it.
Yep.
And finally, Onyx is showing us why they chose the Moskov over the Ascension in this game. Severo can do stuff like that. He was doing it in the regular season. All the superhero landings in the perfect time, saving Onyx just when he thought everything was lost.
Man, down from almost getting the Lord with the Spear of Destruction, down to, you know, handling it, pushing that wave up top, getting the tier 2 down, and then showing up for that fight to get a double. Like, if that doesn't reiterate the fact of what we mentioned back on day one of right now, the Indonesian player for Onyx Philippines is just making things happen and sometimes carrying the team. This is what's happening right now. He's bought them enough time.
Yeah, and now he's bought the Wind of Nature. So this is a big problem for TFPH. You have to outplay a mechanically gifted Severo on his signature Moskov with a Wind of Nature. So TFPH, they have a lot of layers to go through against Onyx.
I can smell the outplays. I'm waiting for it, right? Like, you can enable so much with Wind of Nature, especially the majority of them are physical damage.
Yeah, and the reason why I say outplays because majority of the damage dealers on TFPH are all physical. And this is also the item that dropped Aurora Gaming back in day number 1. One outplay might spell your doom. Even though that was a different hero, same idea.
Yeah, it is a 2-0-1 Moskov as well. Now, no cross map, no problem. We're going to try to fight it out as a 5v5. At least that's what Onyx is thinking right now. They're looking for it. Sanford's up on front, still has that Black Dragon.
Oh, Sanji! Oh, the flicker!
Hey, yeah, flicker burned. Severo doesn't have that. That's crucial. So he's going to have to rely on Brusco potentially here. Kirk doing the work.
Okay.
Taking some resources, at least from Carl Teasy, but the space for this Lord is what they're looking for.
That's a decent cut. He can split that top side. And it will force a reaction from TL here.
Oh, they're going up. They're going up top.
Oh, they are going up top. Kirk's still there though. Are they gonna try to spawn him out?
AOG.
He's got the purple buff. Mid lane, gonna be the focus. Black Dragon form to use as well from Sanford.
They used up all their ults.
They just want to push Onyx off of this. There's a push down bot as well. Wow. Good waves.
All right.
For Onyx. Now they're gonna start up the Lord here. They make quick work to clear it. Kirk goes to push on the off lane to put the pressure there. Kirk, he'll punch that turret down. Severo. Sanji has a raging sandstorm. They got to deal with Kirk. Kirk gets a turret. A great move there. They're keeping TLPH guessing already. Lord's gonna go for a reset though. This might just break out into a fight. Sanford still in the base. They come in, they're looking for Carl. Onyx will be able to get one. They're looking for more. Here's Severo. Pops the wind of nature, still alive, and they'll collapse down on the cavalry under the tier 2 turret, wiping them out.
Onyx finds the golden opportunity to split push. TLPH, the cavalry was confused, but the super family is pushing the base.
If there's a liquid stampede, we gotta figure something out for that for Onyx, because what was that?
That was an Onyx flash if I've ever seen one. They took TLPH by surprise, complete outmaneuver, and Kirk was at the helm.
I mean, there were a lot of doubts with this Moscow pick. They could have gone the East and Shin. They could have gone the undefeated route. But no, they went with the mechanical route. They went with the pressure. They went with Severo.
Oh man, that was so genius to see how they played that. You think it's just the Moskov that can push across the map? Well, hell, when you got Kirk doing a play like that, making a move on the off-lane turret, at the same time you have a wave to deal with, that puts you in a very susceptible position if you're Team Liquid. The rest of the guys around the Lord trying to face off against Onyx.
Yeah. And that one outplay on the bottom side allowed for all these things to happen and open up the game for Onyx and the standard Emas. The pressure lives up to his name. Severo is our game MVP with an amazing performance on the Moscow 206. 80% kill preservation. And again, one outplay led to the other. They allowed the split push for the top side, and the wind of nature problem for TLPH proved to be too much.
Yeah, it was too much, especially since you have a lineup that will specialize in physical damage, like you pointed out right there. Valentina is just there mainly for crowd control. You can't really use sustained damage on that Val. So now that was a big problem that had to be solved, but TLPH did not have enough time to fix it.
Oh man, I feel like this was foretold at one point, because we were talking about how, you know, you get all your power picks if you're Onyx in this game. You're facing, you know, match point, and you go for your best, and it just so happens also to be a hero that Severo was introduced on to a lot of the people that had just started tuning into MPL Philippines. You see the same thing happen here. I swear, he's the best damn Moskov right now in MPL Philippines. You don't see this from the other gold laners right now, like, to be able to have this kind of impact.
Yeah, and again, it's all risky, right? Like, if you look back to the draft, they gave Liquid all the comforts, a very fast tempo lineup, all just because they wanted to get their own comfort picks, play the late game, duke it out, micro battle, and then it's insane that we see Onyx capabilities push to the limits. And yeah, they're pushed to the limits, but because they can definitely do that against even the likes of TLPH, where one outplay, one mistake that they see from TLPH, they do the same thing. They've gotten an inch, they push it to a mile.
Yeah, and this time around, they got the inch earlier, so the inch's value, basically, I think that exponential, right? Like, they got the first blood on Teddy. Just keep that in mind. They were able to get that momentum, use it into the mid, force a situation like this where Kirk was finally the biggest threat on the map, and Carl Teasy could not ignore it.
Yeah, there was, you know, I almost think after watching that for Carl Teasy, he probably had to remember, like, oh yeah, I'm not the Baksha anymore, you know, like he's
slower.
He's a little slower, not as tanky. But it was also just, again, it wasn't even down to that. It was just Onyx really knowing their composition strength here. They were able to play around it. TLPH definitely gave them a run for the money, though, for the early fights, those early skirmishes, the early objectives. You know, you see there, they secured the 3 turtles. Yeah. And so they had control, especially early to mid-game, but Onyx knew the way to dissect that composition when it really mattered, and that's kind of what we saw unfold throughout especially the late game there.
Yeah, and I would say though, like, this is what immortalizes teams like TLPH, you still have to respect that, right? Like when they picked up the God of Gacha, we saw the faces of a lot of like Liquid players. It felt like they didn't have a lot of pressure in mid, but Calties was able to, you know, give some form of control in the trio mid just to be able to like slow the game down against Onyx, because Onyx were playing both side lanes. But even then, they didn't have all the tools in the world to deal with the Zushin, the Khalid, so they had to force a lot of things on the side of Onyx. And it came down to Sanjay using that Raging Sandstorm to bait out the flicker from Severo. But even then, after that, it felt like Onyx didn't react at all. They were just so calm, so collected, because they knew they could just play the map. They could play split pressure because TLPH, they don't have the best of heroes to deal with the split push.
And I like an Onyx that's cool, calm, and collected. They're not bowing to the pressure. They can make better decisions. And in this game, the smallest decisions really, really matter, especially at the highest level of MLBB.
Yeah.
They made it time and time again, which is very impressive. Again, this is the Onyx that we knew in the regular season. The Onyx that slowly built up Severo to become this really scary monster on almost any hero at this point, right? Like, I don't know a bad hero for Severo at this point.
Oh man, I wonder if we'll get to see him play the YSS or not, or, you know, so far for the series, it's not that it's been bad or anything, but when he's had the Claude, obviously he's had a really difficult time activating the Claude just because of the nature of the team composition and everything else. But, you know, in this case, like I said, it's what Onyx has showed us they're capable of doing. It's just in a way that, you know, if they bring a different kind of draft out, if they get their power picks again, depending on what the draft looks like for Game 4, then there's some adjustments that can be made. I think the same is going to happen for TLPH. Like, they've really up to this point, and only towards a certain specific point in Game 3 where they truly like tested. And so now, you know, we see this with TLPH a lot, where it's like, all right, you poke the bear a little bit, now they're angry, you know, and you can expect them to play that way in Game 4.
He'd know all about it.
Right, that's right.
If you do that, he gets angry as well. So
shout out to my bear bros out there.
very good observation here from a bear himself. So, wow. Well, you know what, the audience, I can see all smiles around him because they know that we are not going to go home with a sweep.
Yes, sir.
Tickets are going to be very, very stonks today.
Maybe we even get to see 5 games.
Oh.
Maybe next game,
Onyx wins.
Onyx gets decent shin. Because you know what? This is Teddy's first loss on Cloud.
Oh no, the win streak is over. The MMR.
What was he? 14-0? Now he's 14-1.
Yeah, 14-1.
The MMR is gone.
So the 4,018 MMR that Teddy has is now down to 3,912.
That's a big hit. That's a big hit.
That's a minus 100.
Yeah, so now maybe, you know, if you can do it, Teddy, maybe try to punch back there. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. For now, you guys, we all need a breather here. So let's go ahead and throw it over to the host. We have some very interesting people all around, who joined us today.
Yeah.
And I think our hosts are going to talk to a few of them. What's that? That's very familiar.
You're gonna know in just a bit. You're gonna know.
Very familiar.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
You're not gonna
I
do
didn't
it
get to see it.
Okay.
I just still don't know.
If you know what that means,
Burrito?
you know what we're talking about. But
Burrito?
Yes. But MSCU. So these are some of the teams that are definitely going to be seen here. A lot of them are getting locked in, bro.
Wow, look at all the teams qualified for like wild card over here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Mr. Midnight.
Celebrating. Celebrating over here. So either way, man,
I'm going to Paris.
You're going to Paris.
He's going to Paris, 100%.
Yeah.
Can you get me a croissant?
I'm going to get you a baguette.
Okay.
You like baguettes?
You like baguettes?
No, I don't.
Sorry, baguette.
I'm not.
Baguettes.
Nope. I like croissant.
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 We'll get croissant.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I don't mean to flex, but it's Paris.
It is Paris.
You don't get to do this every day.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. There's how many spots are?
This is wild card,
a lot,
right?
Yeah, this is all wild card. So we got some wild card spots here. We of course still have the other MPLs finishing up. East Asia is what I had the pleasure of getting to cast a bit. That was actually nice, by the way. Just throwing a little fun fact out there. it was nice to see, you know, the South Korean team compete. And then also we get to see Japan compete a bit. Yes, they didn't get to move forward, but it's always nice to see new regions come forward and into the competitive scene of MLBB.
Absolutely. I mean, the family's just growing.
Yeah.
Like, all around, there's just so many things happening. MSL Myanmar's also gonna have gonna have their own grand finals alongside us.
Yes, sir.
So my eyes are gonna be like split up here so
All
much.
the screens.
And remember that interview we talked about? Check it out.
Extend ang ating serye, kaya naman ngayon ay nandito ang isa sa mga buff from our KOLs, Shaira! Hi guys! Shout out sa lahat ng nanonood ng MPL! Wow! Welcome talaga dito sa Champions Arena. Alam mo, Shaira, ikaw talaga yung champion sa taas ng energy. Kumusta ba yung vibe mo dito sa Champions Arena?
Ay, pagpasok ko pa lang, kitang-kita ko na agad. Grabe ang energy ng bawat teams. Grabe, ang pinakalakas na team na nandito, Onyx at saka TLPH. Grabe talaga!
Ay, grabe, Shaira. Alam mo, Shaira, parang mas mataas pa yung energy mo kahit pagsamahin yung dalawa. Alam mo, Shaira, gusto ko lang malaman, nakatulog ka ba?
Hindi nga eh.
Hindi nga. Na-excite ka talaga sa mga kaganapan
Oo,
ngayong araw.
na-excite talaga.
Oo, Shaira,
Ako naman yan.
dito sa ating dalawang teams, ano ba yung napupusuan mo?
Parehas kasi.
Parehas. Ang hirap
Ang
talaga.
hirap pamili.
Nahihiyak na talaga si Shaira sa mga ganap. Pero alam mo, Shaira, habang nagaganap itong ating match sa loob, meron din tayong super fan city sa labas. Balita ko, meron daw kayong booth dyan.
Ay, oo, meron, guys. Please visit our booth, yung All-Star, kasi grabe ang daming mga prizes and pang-freebies na pwede nyong makuha.
So, hindi lang si Shaira ang nagigiftan nyo. Gigiftan
Oo.
din kayo ng ating mga KOLs to our super fan city.
Yeah.
At alam mo, Shaira, balita ko, meron din daw kayong shoot na episodes for All-Star.
Ay, oh my God, guys. So, abangan nyo pala yon bukas na, no? From May 30 and 31, meron kaming episode. So, 2 p.m. yon, guys. Kaya abangan nyo ang pasabog namin.
Aabangan ko talaga. Ikaw ba yung isa sa mga umarte doon?
Ay, ako ang representado ng
Wow.
Philippines!
Wow! Grabe, Shaira, parang bagay talaga sa'yo mag-artista. Eh, no? Parang lahat ng emosyon ay nararamdaman namin kapag kasama ka. At i-invite mo naman lahat ng ating mga super fans na manood dito sa venue.
So yun nga guys, so, nabanggit ko na kanina. Abangan nyo, 2 p.m. bukas ang episode ng All-Star. Imagine, iba't ibang region ang kasama ko, yes. 10 po kami from different countries na maglalaban-laban. At ako po ang magpipresenta sa Pilipinas.
Ang buff ng Philippines, ang KOL nating si Shaira. So ipa-cheer mo naman, tigisang team.
Okay guys, titignan natin ngayon kung sino nga ba ang may pinakamalakas na cheer. Ready na bang lahat? Okay, saan muna, Odin? Saan sila sa
Siyempre
tingin
sa
mo?
Onyx muna.
Okay, Onyx muna. And 3, 2, 1, Onyx!
Wow!
Ba, lakas
Napantayan yung level ng energy mo.
Oo.
Dito naman sa
Oh, dito.
kabila.
Oh,
Siyempre,
TLPH.
kailangan bumawi.
Alam nyo na, narinig nyo na. So dapat mas lagpasan nyo pa. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, TLPH!
Wow! Grabe na talaga ating mga super fans at grabe ka na rin, Shaira. Maraming salamat for being with us here in the Champions Arena. Ibalik na muna natin sa ating mga casters at sabayan mo ko pag sinabing palag na to. In 3, 2, 1, palag na to!
Kala ko kante.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Shaira. Kailangan ko na magpa-check up ng tenga pagkatapos nitong araw na ito.
Iba ka talaga, Shaira. Nakaka-blockbuster ka na, nakakabasag ka pa ng eardrum. Anyway, ibang klase ang nakita natin mula sa Onyx Philippines in that game number 3. That is the reason why we are going to this next game, you know? TLPH, usually, momentum na sila pag mga ganong
Yeah.
klase ng scenarios. But Onyx Philippines just showed to us what they're made of at bakit sila nakarating sa upper bracket finals from being here or from being at the play-ins.
Yep. Malaking bagay yon, stopping the momentum that was definitely evident na rin sa Cavalry for the first 2 games. And this is why we appreciate so much how well Onyx adapted. This is something na pinag-uusapan natin sa draft pa lang kanina.
Right.
The moment they decided to switch up the priorities, I think particularly starting with that Suyo Red 3. Kasi from that point onwards, di ba, nakita na natin kung paano nila mas napalitan, mas na-change kung ano yung nagiging go-to na strategy and playstyle nila, which really favored them a lot. But also, you could not take away the fact na for majority of the game, Liquid really had it under control. It was just really that one play, and I guess that one key player from Onyx Philippines that made all this possible.
And I think that was some of the things na na-mention ng ating mga desk analysts. They were talking about the composition of Onyx Philippines having a significant advantage pagdating ng mga later portions ng ating laro. And ang big benefit pa doon was Savero actually popping off during the 9th or maybe the 10th minute of this matchup, which gave a lot of opportunities for Onyx na unti-unting makabawi and eventually take this matchup for good.
Yep. Ito nakikita nyo ngayon? Nakikita nyo ngayon kung gaano karami yung mga kasama natin?
Grabe, sobrang dami.
Gusto mo bang maglakad ng onte?
O sige, lakad tayo ng konti.
Lakad kaming
Saan
konti,
tayo
guys,
lakad punta? Kamusta? Kamusta?
Kamusta, guys? Uy, kaya pa ba? Kaya pa
Buhayin
ba?
natin ang lahat ng mga nandito. Okay.
Ano to?
Oh, wala,
Ano to?
wala ako dyan, ha? Wala ako dyan. Wala ako dyan. Kaya pala pinaglakad, no? Sino nagsabi maglakad
Sino
tayo?
nag-call na maglakad po kami?
Feeling ko
direct?
ipapakita nyo lang talaga. Sige, isa pa nga, isa pa nga. Baka ano eh. Grabe.
Ang galing, oh.
Meron pa ba dyan? May iba pa ba dyan?
Ang galing kasama pala si Teddy doon. Oh. Okay,
Biglang
let's go.
may Teddy.
Let's go.
O,
Dito
lakad
pa tayo.
tayo sa kabila.
Oy, ito, shoutout natin.
Oy, shoutout natin
okay.
to.
We know you're probably doing a
Yes.
watch party right now.
Yes.
We would like to shout out. How do we address him? How do we address him, no?
Hindi, sabi niya, Babaero Wolf daw eh. Babaero Mirko also.
Babaero Mirko.
Right? I think that, ayan pala, yan, Mir Bagets. I don't know what Mir Bagets is. I guess yan yung mga minions ni Mirko.
Minions? Okay. I never know they had a name.
We're
pero,
looking for
okay,
more
okay.
creative stuff.
Sige,
Kaya
ano ba?
nahanap pa tayo.
Ano ba meron
O,
tayo
punta
dyan? Hello
sa
po,
likod.
Nay.
Punta tayo dun sa likod. Hello po
Saan
sa
po tayo
inyong lahat.
pupunta ngayon? Saan po
Ayan
tayo
na,
pupunta
ang
ngayon?
dami.
Oo.
Aakyat ba tayo? Pupunta
tayo,
natin.
aakyat
Tayo. Sige,
tayo.
dito natin eh.
Direct, kaya pa.
Oo.
Oh,
Goal
sige.
natin maka
Oh,
10,000
sige.
step. Goal natin maka 10... Goal
Uy.
natin maka 10,000 steps dito sa
ikot
San Juan
tayo dito.
Arena eh.
Ay, kailangan natin pumunta sa kabila,
Oo,
tingin ko.
yung mga
kikita tayo sa kabila.
naka-on ba yung Strava mo, te?
Naka-on ba?
Naka-on ba? Hello po sa inyo. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Magay kayo sa
Let's
camera.
go!
Yan po, tutukan mo sila lahat, kuya. Grabe. Sobrang dami ng tao. Partida. Di ba?
Ay,
Ayos
ang
ba
galing,
yan?
no?
Uy, hello po.
Ilang steps na tayo?
Uy, pakita mo yan.
Uy, ang ganda.
Ipakita mo yan,
Pakita
men.
mo to.
Santi, para to sa'yo kung nanonood ka man. Santi, para to sa'yo.
Iba ka. Alam mo yun,
Oo, din.
Bigay po natin sa kanya yan mamaya.
Opo, bigay po
Oo.
natin yun
Tapos
mamaya.
mag-picture po kayo.
Ayan.
At nandito na tayo. Saan na tayo? Saan na tayo?
Exit na tayo eh.
Mag-exit na tayo. Okay.
Balis na yata tayo.
Hindi, iba to. Dito
Ah,
tayo.
Oo, doon ba tayo?
Dito pa tayo.
Stoppage na pala.
stoppage
Hindi man
na
lang
pala.
hindi sila umabot sa cut-off.
Ayun lang.
Wala. Ano ang goal
O, saan
natin?
tayo dadaan?
Babalik na tayo.
Babalik na kami.
Hindi, kasi nakikita na ng mga internet fans natin.
Saan po kami dadaan?
Hindi, doon tayo sa kabila. Doon tayo sa
mali.
kabila. Nakikita kasi ng mga internet fans natin yung since nandito sila sa bandang Onyx Philippines side.
Oy,
And in
ang dami dito. Sayang, hindi natin napakita.
Oo nga eh. Balang araw po, dadating din po tayo sa punto na makakarating po kami sa
Balang
kabilang
araw.
banda.
Balang araw
wag po kayong
someday.
mag-alala. Onyx, babalikan po namin kayo kung sakali na manalo yung Onyx
Oo.
PH sa game number 5. Parang malaki ba tiwala ng Onyx PH? Malaki? I see it. I see the vision. At i-update lang din po namin ang ating internet audience na nakabalik na po kami sa aming upuan.
Opo.
So I think it's about time for us to start game number 4. 2-1. Match point pa rin ang Team Liquid Philippines. Talk to us about the good things na nagawa ng Onyx Philippines aside from the draft prioritization na nakita natin kanina.
I think even though karamihan talaga ng pwede nating masabi about Onyx when it comes to that, just really was from that one team fight onwards na nakita natin. I guess you could also say it's how they were able to maybe calm down a bit in terms of what they wanted to do. Kasi parang si Kirk nag-revert lang siya dun sa typical na this is how we use the pakito, this is how we just constantly keep the pressure going, this is how we make sure na parang we keep them on their toes. And they mainly started that through yung, again, nakita natin ginagawa ni Kirk, managing the waves so well, so much that Liquid and their objective fighting capabilities were hindered just because they had to react to what he was doing in the map.
Okay, so the idea for Onyx Philippines, surprisingly, is to take out itong Pakito, which is something that we don't usually see as much in this series kasi nga gamit na gamit yan, either ni Sanford or either nitong si Kirk. So it felt like Onyx Philippines, there's a reason why they keep on sticking with this red side. Napansin mo, parang hindi yata sila nagkaroon ng sandamakmak na changes based on what we're seeing. Or should I say, it's actually the blue side ngayon para sa Onyx Philippines. And looking at it again from hindsight, the Marcel still not an option.
Yeah.
Para naman dito sa TLPH, what's the idea here? Dapat ba silang bumalik dun sa backsha since parang binubuksan din naman ng Onyx yun, or do they have to think of other things?
Onyx being in blue. Actually, sobrang interesting na itong makita kung sila naman ano kaya yung magiging prio nila because it seems like the backsha will be open. So I might still hop on that train of thought na they could potentially go for the backsha in the first pick and there they go.
Sila ang nag-first pick nitong backsha. King Kong has used it during the play-ins and even towards the 3 days na nandito na tayo sa San Juan Arena. So, an optimal choice here for DLPH is to possibly go for a gold laner para dito kay Teddy. We saw him use the Harith and the Claude all throughout this series. Wala pang iba because it's just 4 games.
Yeah, and that's also, I think, what's been keeping Onyx in the game, I feel. Kasi hindi naman nila sobrang na-force out. But I think that's also a great choice from Liquid kasi they're not totally reacting to Savero and putting in so much pressure on him. Similar to what we saw for maybe Falcons last night when they went up against Onyx and maybe focused a bit too much on Savero. But now it's Liquid picking up the Cho.
Oo, yung Freya lang kasi talaga yung problemahin mo mainly in terms of the gold lane. The others, you're looking at two of the best gold laners that we have here in the world. So, DLPH, they're kind of changing things up. Pili sila nung Cho na nasabi nga natin kanina na medyo nagsastruggle yung Onyx PH in working with it. Pero naalala ko din kasi yung sinabi ni Eto Max kanina that it is somewhat of a good matchup against this backsha. Kasi masisipa mo lang siya. If you have the tools to burst it down, then maybe you have a chance na maparag kagad yung front line. But Onyx Philippines decides to go for a lapu-lapu, another damage-dealing XP laner, at isasama mo pa yan with this Claude.
Okay, at automatically, a not-so-target for the Cho, perhaps, to go for the Lapu-Lapu right away. Because again, there are just countless ways for a Lapu to keep himself immune and safe. But there's a great response to the carry as well. So you see the true frontliners, main frontliners for Onyx as well. You already have a huge response and answer. This saves the Carl PZ and Sanji pick for second phase. This is something that Liquid has only done here in this game so far for this entire series.
Yeah, and from what I can remember dun sa ating real-time cooling tactics, it's TLPH's task na medyo mababaan yung sa lower tier, yung mga gold laner heroes itong sa Savero. Kahit na sabihin natin na hindi naman naging factor yun in terms of the banning phase, it felt like Onyx had the urgency to pick up a Savero hero right away just because of what he did during game number 3. Nung nilast pick siya, it boded very well for this team dahil nga meron silang aasahan up until the end. And I think this is a composition, the Lapu might be a question mark for me sa ngayon, but it's gonna help them later on once Savero gets his items.
Interesting though, Onyx take out the Guinevere. And can I just say na this feels like nag-swap lang sila. Like this draft from Liquid seems to be like an Onyx draft that we've seen for the first 2 games. And Onyx this time, it seems like they're the blue side Liquid for the past 2 games. But it's great that Liquid are taking out again yung Hylos because I think that is also gonna be a really great answer. Imagine a backsha Hylos again paired up together, diba? I think that will finally enable what we've been looking for Onyx in terms of yung fast rotations nila. I wonder why the Kimi too. It feels so...
Yeah, dude. Like, kung tatakpan mo yung mga pangalan nila, you would expect that Onyx banned the Hylos and the Kimi, but it's the other way around. So, TLPH they probably have something in store for us here. Baka gumamit na naman sila ng Gatot Kacha if it's still available once again. Or, I mean, not anymore because the Cho is finally available. So they have to worry about the team fight in itself. And that's where the Eve comes to play. So Cho and Eve ang kanila magiging combo dito para kay Sanji and JP.
Okay, it's great. Because I think also the Kimi pickup would enable Onyx to just keep their kiting on top, and Liquid might wanna fight within this box kasi nakuha na naman nila yung Eve once again. So I think this will help them execute their plans in terms of this lineup. But for Onyx, we're looking at a Brusco and Super Prince mid duo.
Yeah.
There's a no Kalea still. The Khalid is still up. But that's a Cho, so you have to really. Okay. Okay.
I see the vision.
You see the okay.
I see the vision. Again, they can play macro with this. Pero ito na ang alas ng Cavalry. Team Liquid Philippines picks up a classic hero, an old friend ni Carl Gabriel Nepomuceno. Team Liquid Philippines, how are we feeling about Game 4?
But let me ask the Super Fam. We have the Luyi Atlas. Kumusta ang Super Fam dyan?
TLPH 2, Onyx 1. Will we go to Game 5 or will it end here? Casters, take it away.
But trump cards have been unleashed here in game number 4 of TLPH versus Onyx. So many main character syndromes here. I am getting overwhelmed. I love it.
I love it too. We're going to be jumping into this. Hopefully, this one will take us to a Game 5, man. Comfort picks across the board in a way. I'm wondering if TLPH will be able to get through the issues that was Brusco on the Cho earlier.
Yeah, I feel like this time around they just picked.
Whoa.
Oh, wait.
That's some good early damage. Whoa! Already an early flicker from Sanji.
Yeah, I was just saying, I mean, it's the same problem. Like, they Cho into Abasha, but like what Coach Atamax said earlier, like, it is a decent hero to deal versus the Baksha because you get a lot of vision early game, you get aggressive players like this, and you can essentially just control River. But I think the main strength of TL's lineup is that they're heavily, like, they have a lot of, like, mobile heroes on their lineup.
Yeah, the mobility is off the charts here. Again, can be matched by cross-map plays by the Loyi with Super Prince. JP
has to burn the flicker. He's going to be alive, and that seems to be a problem. That, okay. That, little threatening there, JP. You might want to go back, but he does, and that's the combo in the mid that's going to continue to happen between that mid lane duo.
Yeah, majority of this is just showing off your force very early on. I think Onyx does need to do that as well.
Yeah.
And I think TLPH feels that. I feel it. As JP, you're not as safe as you were in game 1 to 3.
Yeah, and this is where things kind of become more awkward and weird for TLPH. Ideally, you want to be able to win out the first turtle, especially with this Phobius on your lineup because he's up against a Lapu-Lapu, but conceptually, Onyx has a lot more better kits on their side. Like, they can actually fight this first turtle, so it's awkward in a sense where TL's comp, they don't really get to play how they want to play this game.
Oh, okay. First turtle. Krontizi's going to swing on down here after taking a camp in the jungle, but he goes forward, trying to use the Phantom Execution. Turtle still secured. Sanji goes down. Carl Tizi as well. Onyx able to convert a whole lot off the first turtle. 2 kills and an objective, and they'll go ahead and take out the purple buff as well.
That is just so much conversion from 2 kills at Pearl as well.
Oh, wow, they're fighting.
They will lose out on the purple. Oh, JP
Well,
gets
it's a
it.
JP.
Yeah.
Might as well go to a teammate than the opposing team.
Yeah, but job's done for Onyx. They took out the purple. They take away a little bit of farm from Carl TZ. Unfortunately, that Phantom Execution retro combo wasn't enough. It was actually the Tortoise Boy Sans that killed the turtle. Maybe 2 HP left, I don't know. But King Kong didn't even use retry for the turtle.
There you go. That is huge. He's going to be able to use it. Actually, you know, if never there was like a post-turtle fight.
Oh, Fatal Link's going to bring out JP. Can't escape. And this is why I asked the question, is he going to make this Cho work throughout this game? Diversion going to be used. They're going for Carl TZ again. They spot him out in the jungle. Thorn Rose isn't going to help you here, Carl TZ.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. TLPH's comp, they don't seem to work with what they want to play in the game. They had a full views, they had to win the first turtle, but because of this Lancelot last pick, as much as I like seeing Carl Nepomuceno on the Lancelot, there's just a big disconnect with the way they drafted and how they want to play this game.
Especially since the Cho can't really do pressure that much. There's no kill potential. Who are you going to pressure here? I mean, that in itself is a very, very big problem that needs to be addressed very soon because they're starting to lose out on gold.
Yeah, because the question you ask TLPH is where's the damage coming from? Especially up against heroes like Lapu Lapu, Baxia, even an Atlas. Like, you have the bypass, but there's no damage. Onyx can outlive you in the fight. So for TLPH, they have to slow the game down. But because of, again, the Phobius and the way TLPH's play, they want to force a lot of aggression in the early game, but they just can't.
I completely agree. There's so much shielding that you need to go through. There's so much, there's so much shields. And again, map pressure from Super Prince.
Oh, diversion to mid. They're going to collapse down on Sanford. King Kong gets the turtle. They're looking for a kill. JP goes for a kill. He gets one, but he's stuck in the mid lane as he falls. No one goes down from Onyx.
And the one time JP gets a good kick in, he gets mowed down.
Yeah, Onyx, they're doing a fantastic job of knowing how to play the map in this game. You have to meet Liquid at all fronts. Wherever the aggression is, you go there, which is why this Louis pickup is so amazing from Super Friends. TLPH, they have a greedy lineup. So anything that they force against you, you contest for if you're Onyx.
This Loyi pickup is just giving such a big headache to TLPH right now. You can see it, right?
Yep.
It's so easy.
I have one last question for Sanford, Hans, if it's okay. Grabe naman. Okay, so I'll keep it pretty simple. So we all know there will still be a lower bracket finals tomorrow between Onyx and Falcons. Kung papipiliin ka, sino ang gusto mong makatapat heading into the grand final?
Kasi parehas na namin nakasama yung yung Falcons sa 2024 tapos Onyx ng 2025. Siguro Onyx siguro kasi sobrang deserving ni Sabero and sobrang makita namin yung potential niya and yung puso niya sa game sobrang kakaiba kaya napaangan niya talaga kami si Sabero.
And I think that's it. So the decision for Sanford is Onyx dahil maglalaban pa sila sa kung sino yung mananalo later on between Team Falcons and Smart Omega. Sobrang dami nating nakita na mga magigilas na play para sa araw na ito. And I think, what we're supposed to do next?
Actually, meron pa pala tayo, no?
Meron pa?
Meron pa pala tayong abangan mamaya between Smart Omega and Team Falcons. So, meron tayong mga nalatag na choices doon pero hindi yun yung definite. Maalalaman pa lang natin yun mamaya-maya. So, hanggang dito na muna tayo, guys. Congratulations once again to Team Liquid Philippines. At mukhang it's about time. Kasi meron pa tayong unting pakulo kung hindi ako nagkakamali, di ba?
Okay, I wonder. Ano yung pakulo?
Meron pa tayong unting pakulo dito eh. May gagawin yata tayo dito with our crowd. So
with the fans.
Yes,
with the VIPs.
fans, with the VIPs.
With the VIPs, okay.
Okay.
Sige, guys, ito sinasabi ko lang sa inyo, you're completely missing out on the things that are happening kasi kapag nandito ka, you get a chance to do it. Okay? So, guys, if you want your selfies to be taken, go ahead, do it. Do just that. Oh, sige, Sanford, ikaw na mag-interview. Okay, go. No, hindi, joke lang. Nabigla ka yata eh. Pero, ayan. Again, for everybody who's watching at home, this is the opportunity that you get. Okay, I guess that's what we're gonna do. while we're here. Pero sa ngayon, ibato muna natin sa Infinix Liquid Cooling Beast Mode. Mic check.
Boss? 2K lang, boss, ha? 2K lang. Kay buhat, ha? 3K lang, kalma. May ka, G. Tara. Shutdown. Nice. Keted. Pero ulti-back siya. Shutdown. Okay lang. Kaya pa natin ito late game, pre. Legit. Promise. Late game to. Chill lang. Hold lang tayo, hold. Promise, ma-hold lang natin ito, pre. Pag napag-item din ako. Kalma lang, boys. Nakakari tayo, boy, oh. Yung lapo, mawawala ng kwenta. Chill lang. Wala. Bigger. Naano ko yung ano. Atlas muna. Harap pa lang. Patayan, pre. Gusto nyo ba? Tara, dad. Louie. Louie. Cancel ka ulit, pre. Laban, loading lang. Patay, Louie. Lapo lang. Lapo lang. Sakit klot, pre. Go lang, Ford. Fury. Klot, pisa. Baksa. Takik. Baka ang double, pre, ha? Baka ang double, Louie. Pre, box. Lalay ka. Kaya pa niya ba? May lord. Carl. TP. Try bush. Dito ka. Out na, pre. Out na ball. Akit ka sa mid. Nice. Go, nakalo na mid. Dep. Chill. Dep na agad. Kalma siya. Sige, tara. Tara tayo, pre. Pwede tayo humiro. Tara, manghihiro ako. Pwede. Pwede. Louie. Waiter. Okay, may mabalis ka, pre. Buhat na. Pick na, Louie. Ready ako sa klod, ha? Laban tayo. Box lang. Lalay. Tara, liba. Labigan, Louie, boy. Louie, patay, Louie. Dadaga mo, patay. Isa ka. Patay mo, pre. Huwag kayo papatay. Baksa muna.
Wow.
Tama ba yung naririnig ko na parang kinukul ni Sanji yung mga diversion? Ano mo, maabang diskusyon yan. Welcome back sa ating casting desk. Magsasama na naman ng mga Filipino talents and English talents natin dito. That was absolute cinema of not only a series, kung hindi, pati na rin yung post-game interviews natin.
Oo.
Goated.
Goated.
W.
I was just on the edge of my seat.
And so far, no, nakita na natin ang ating pinakaunang grand finalist, which means we have our first MSC representative. Team Liquid Philippines, wala naman na nagtaka. Regular season pa lang, ine-expect na ng taong mangyayari ito.
Yeah, I think nagpa-solidify nung pagiging deserved nila nitong Grand Finals berth is because of the fact that they survived that round against Onyx. Kung hindi sila challenge ng Onyx, meron pa sigurong chip on their shoulders. Pero dahil naging close yung laban natin and they could have lost ng reverse sweep dahil sa momentum ng Onyx, mas gumanda tuloy yung kwento para sa TLPA.
Yeah, that game felt like such a horrible game, especially for like a Cho, right? And it took everyone. It took everyone's effort. Even Sanji in that very last one. Ang liit na bagay nung Void Crystal na yun sa bush. But that spotted the play.
Even the fact that Carl TZ dealt with so much pressure in the early part of the game, like we were saying, like
0-4?
Man, 0-4, and then he ends up getting a maniac and then just popping off, and the Sansan dealt. There was so much great things to see. It's funny because it's a 3-1. But that felt like a full series, man. I feel satisfied after that, you know? So great MLBB there.
You know, one good thing that I can never erase from my mind is I can't believe Phobius can sit versus 5 people.
5-man Dark Wave.
5-man Dark Wave.
I think
Chill lang si Idol.
ito lang ata yung unang beses and maybe ang huling beses na masasabi mo ang 5-man, ang mga katagang 5-man Dark Wave.
In one sentence.
In one sentence.
Crazy.
Because how do you do that, di ba? Ang nipis-nipis ng isang Dark Wave. Pero I think the most impressive thing here is yung nabanggit dito ni Rockhart na nababasa ni Sanji yung mga diversion na binabato ni Super Prince come late game. Yung early game, for sure, bigay na natin sa Onyx yun.
Yeah, well, alam naman natin yun yung nerf sa Louie, di ba? Parang alam mo kung kailan magti-TP. And then pag dinagdag mo yung knowledge mo dun sa mismong ganong klase play, kaya mo nga kontra. At syempre, Louie player din si Sanji. So alam niya yung mga limitations hanggang saang bush ka pwedeng manggaling. Kung sakali galing kang bot, you know yung mga limitations na yun. And parang kailangan niyang gawin is utilize yung kanyang knowledge, mag-pop ng second skill, ilatag, sabay nakakita siya ng dalawa doon.
Also yung yung puso ni Carl TZ. 0-4, tapos wala siyang mga purple buff. Para sa isang Lancelot player, yun na yung mga moments na napapasigaw ka na sa mga kakampi mo na
protektahan yung purple buff mo eh.
Wala eh, si The GOAT kasi,
Si The GOAT.
Mr. Carl, dinaanan niya na lahat. Nag-0-7 na siya nung regular season. Kumbaga sa kanya, di na bago to.
Well.
Normal na to, chill lang. Sabi nga nila magkakamali din yung kalaban. And in fact, hindi naman nagkamali din yung Onyx. I would say it was a proper Louis play. Sadyang niluto lang ni Deshev. Sabi niya, naluto ko na to eh. Saktong-sakto nga, yung shoutout sa cameraman natin by the way, saktong-sakto pagtingin niyan dun sa titipihan ng Onyx Philippines, kita mo na eh, may nakalatag na eh. May nag-aabang na void crystal, may checkpoint mula kay Sanji.
Tapos nakita, nabawasan na poke, ang daming nagawa ng play ni Sanji na yon.
Actually, yung masabi ko doon kaya parang magandang Loye play siya kasi alam din ni Fritz na siya yung target. Di ba before yung play na yun, nasipa siya ni Daddy JP. Alam niya may flicker na. So naganda siya ng Winter Crown at hindi siya actually tinamaan nung stump ng Jeet Kundo. Kaya napaload din nila si Carl TZ ng mga time na yun. I think kaya nakakuha ng 5-man Dark Wave itong si Sanford is because disciplinary din yung Onyx sa box nila. Kaya magkakadikit sila. So parang alam nila na go at nung na-bait sila ng TLPH, doon na nakakuha ng flicker sabay Dark Wave itong si Sanford.
And again, yung mga ganung moments, like people are knowledgeable, diba? Like that was a very tough game talaga.
That's true.
And it took every single player in Team Liquid Phillies superstar trigger, X-Factor play just to turn that around. So big props for him to Onyx, honestly.
And even Kirko mula sa Onyx Philippines ng I think yung sa game na ito, that Lapu-Lapu was definitely playing really well nung simula. I think 6-1-1 at pumi-flicker pa nga ata sa tapat ng marksman ng side ng Team Liquid Philippines. But sadly, ang nangyari pa nung late game na nga tayo ay pumababa naman na talaga ang power spike ng isang Lapu-Lapu by that time.
Very beautiful yung maniac ni Carl TZ.
Yeah.
That was the moment na masasabi nating okay, winnable na para sa Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Balik yung momentum eh, di ba?
The momentum, man.
Came back.
It came back so quick after that, and you know, there's only certain ways that can happen, and that's why we really highlighted over here. Before that happened, what Sansan duo were able to do throughout the game was enough, even for JP, solving the issue, because the on-ground panel talked about this. Is he going to be able to find the right targets against, you know, the Baksha, the Atlas, those combinations? So the amount of work that takes to find the right targets with the G-Kundos or with the Way of the Dragon ultimate, like to be able to kick super Prince most of the time and also just lock down the targets was crucial.
And frankly speaking, no, ang dami nating nakita ng mga superstar dito sa loob ng seryeng ito. And sobrang excited na akong malaman kung ano nga ba yung mga resulta ng mga naging botohan natin. Base din sa mga superstars na napanood natin sa seryeng ito.
Oo, men. Kasi sinabi na natin kanina eh, ang daming clutch. In fact, 10 clutch, Jin, yung nakita natin. So, masasabi ko lang, i-reiterate ko lang yung sinabi ni Lafel kanina. Kung hindi ka Filipino fan, horror movie yung pinanood mo eh. Kasi PSA lang, reminder lang sa buong mundo, lilipat ang Liquid sa Paris. So, alam mo yun, kung ibang team ka, parang, ito na naman tayo eh.
And a lot of teams na sinubukan mag-Golden Road ay kadalasan napapagod matapos ito hindi makamit. Pero mukhang iba ang Team Liquid Philippines. Hindi ramdam ang pagod, ramdam mo pa rin yung gutom. And they are starting again from scratch from day one technically in that Golden Road.
Golden Road take 2 agad next year? Grabe naman.
Makita natin na parang maganda yung motivation na nakita natin from all of the players. And I'm saying this because I'm able to interview the players at nakita ko yung mga hardships na pinagdaanan nila. Especially, this is the team, kasama na rin yung team Onyx Philippines na dinout natin lahat, di ba? Heading into the season.
Good point,
But here we are, witnessing greatness once again at napaka-dominant nila. Sila pa yung nagtapat dito sa upper bracket finals.
Grabe, no? Yung struggle from scouring for gold lane. Trying to find a coach for TLPH. And ano nga, yung nabanggit ni Carl sa HG Podcast Mini na gusto niyang ipanalo talaga to for TLPH kasi gusto niyang bigyan ng championship. Hindi na para sa kanya. Kulang na yung name tag eh. Ang liit na yung name tag. Ang dami ng trophy. Ang gusto na niyang binibigyan, si Teddy, sa yung mga coaches.
Lahat, ano yan, in English, and the next trophy is
Parang ang sarap maging kakampi ni Carl TZ. Alam mong kapag nakapasok ka sa Team Liquid Philippines, yung sunod na tropeo kung wala ka pa, para sa'yo na yan.
Sure na sure kasi kita naman natin yung epekto ni Carl even with Teddy as a rookie ngayong season. sobrang laki ng impact na na-enable nila itong bagong player na to na sobrang komportable din na sumasama dun sa Four Horsemen.
At yun nakita din natin kay Teddy, ginagawa niya kasi trabaho niya ng matindi rin naman. Let's just say na in that particular series, we can say na si Savero yung na-highlight natin many times because of the outplays in that game number 3. But Teddy, all throughout this series, dependable naman siya, nagagawa niya yung kailangan niya gawin. At pati dun sa huling clash, hindi rin siya napatumba ng Onyx Philippines.
Some would say he was steady. He was steady
Very steady.
throughout the whole series.
Very
I think
steady.
that's what we were saying over here on the English stream. Just how steady Teddy has been throughout the season, but even in this series alone, where it was such a heated season, that he kind of had to be that guy to be able to pull that off throughout what was happening across the game. And you know, other than that, you have to imagine now they're one step closer to making history here. Back to back to back. 3-time champions here in MPL Philippines.
That's
Wala
why-
pang nakakagawa nun.
This is Teddy's first playoffs, by the way, guys. But let that sink in. I mean, come on. You're put in the team that doesn't really need you to, outperform so much. Just need to be very reliable, and Teddy really did that there.
And ang dami nating mga na-recognize sa mga manlalaro sa sering ito. Panigurado, marami pa tayong mababalikan sa ating regular season. Nagbotohan tayo a few weeks ago kung sino nga ba yung mga magiging regular season MVP at iba pa. I-reveal na natin yan mamaya-maya lang sa Alamat Awards.
After a spectacular regular season, we now welcome you to the MPL Philippines Season 17 Alamat Award.
Tonight, we honor the exceptional individuals, the brilliant minds, and the outstanding storytellers who defined the greatness of this season.
Let us begin with our first category of the evening to recognize the elite performance of our players in the Land of Dawn. This is the Infinix All-Star Team 1. To present the award, please welcome on stage Mr. Patrick Hernandez, Infinix Philippines brand representative.
These awards recognize the top players in each role, players who truly rose above the rest this season. The Infinix All-Star Team 1 represents elite performance, perfect teamwork, and clutch consistency. Qualities matched by the GT Watch 5 Pro, synced right on your wrist for peak performance at every moment.
As such, winners of this award will receive their very own GT Watch 5 Pro. Your Infinix All-Star Team 1 members are: first, the Infinix All-Star Team 1 XP Laner. Give it up for Sanford of Team Liquid Philippines. Right up next is the Infinix All-Star Team 1 Jungler. Congratulations, Carl Daisy of Team Liquid Philippines.
For the man in the middle, the Infinix All-Star Team 1 mid laner is Sanji of Team Liquid Philippines.
And now, the Infinix All-Star Team 1 Roamer. Make some noise for JP of Team Liquid Philippines. And last but not the least, the Infinix All-Star Team 1 Gold Laner. Congratulations to Super Marco of Team Falcons.
Once again, congratulations to the Infinix All-Star Team 1.
Moving forward, we recognize our next set of exceptional standard setters. These awards recognize our second highest ranked players in each role, selected for their exceptional performance and overall contribution. These individuals consistently made a massive impact for their teams all season long.
For our first award, the All-Star Team 2 XP Laner. Congratulations to Flap of Team Falcons!
Our next award is the All-Star Team 2 Jungler. Congratulations, Kyle of Team Falcons! Now it's time to give it up for our All-Star Team 2 mid laner. He is none other than Super Friends of Onyx Philippines.
For our All-Star Team 2 Roamer. Congratulations to Oakwen of Team Falcons!
And finally, the All-Star Team 2 Gold Laner. He is Sabero of Onyx Philippines. Congratulations once more to our All-Star Team 2.
Our next set of awards is the Smart Fans Choice All-Star Team.
The fans were asked to vote for their top players of the season. This award reflects the players' influence and overall contribution to their team and community. Winners of this award will take home a smart device. To present these awards, please welcome on stage Mr. Camilo Medina, Smart Events Officer. Kicking things off with our first award, the Smart Fans Choice All-Star Team XP Laner. Congratulations, Kirk of Onyx Philippines!